Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Is on the topic of how to write a simple CV and cover letter. And this session is actually dedicated to my grandmother, the lovely lady you see in this picture, and my father. And the reason why is that because they are my greatest source of motivations in life. And actually, in making this video, this is the third time I'm making this video. And the reason why I keep on coming back to make the same video is because I truly want to help you come up with the most simple and most effective framework as possible. So that's why I invest a lot of time. Now, I know that when you think about resume writing, nobody wants to spend 2 hours on a lovely Sunday afternoon sitting down and write it, right? I personally, in the past, just push it off as long as I can. I don't really know in the past, I didn't know where to start. I didn't really know how to present. And of course, every time you think about resume writing, it brings out so much anxiety and so much doubt. Questions like, am I good enough for this role? And so as such, I hope that you will be able to push the doubts away, grab some ice cream, put on some rap music, get into the right happy mode, and we're going to get started. Because in my experience, resume writing is actually quite simple. It does take a lot of time, but I hope to show you that it's quite straightforward, and after a while you do it, you feel quite good because you have a chance to review how much you have done with your life, and hopefully you will really enjoy what you've done. So let's jump right into it. So first thing first here, I'm going to show you a resume, the before version. This is a resume of somebody that is a second year as SMU and at Singapore Management University, which is essentially a top business school in Singapore. It's highly respected, and this person came from Vietnam, and he is looking to apply into a position within UBS bank doing risk management. It's an internship position. So I'm going to walk you through this. So this is his resume. I changed the name so that it will protect his identity. This is the first version of his resume. So let's take a look through it. I'm going to give you, maybe a few seconds to take a look through this. I'm going to be scrolling down. And let me move this up. Okay. Alright, I'm scrolling down here. Right, he started out with education, work experiences, extracurricular activities, and skills and interests. Quite typical, right? But do you spot any reasons why this resume is not very interesting? Okay, so let's take a step back. There are several things that are essentially wrong with this resume, in my opinion. So the first one is that this resume is not customized. Not customized here means that it's not designed to fulfill the requirements for UBS. What that means is that if you're applying for 10 different jobs, you need to write 10 different resumes. Okay? Imagine this. You have 10 people. You own a restaurant. You sell noodle or something, and you have 10 different people walk into your restaurant, right? What do? The first thing, you walk to each one of them and you ask, what would you like to eat? You ask them what they need, what they want, right? You don't just 10 people come in, you don't just give them the same dish, the same noodle dish for 10 people, because they all have different needs and want. So this is the most important mistake that so many fresh graduates are doing, is that they write their resume kind of like a story, kind of like, let me tell you about my biography. Well, it's born, this is what I do in X year, Y year, 10 year, right? And they kind of go through with explaining in order, like, okay, this is where I first worked, this, but it doesn't really match with what the employer is looking for. So this is a very, very fundamental mistake. So the first thing I actually would do is here, let me go back to this. This is what the job description is looking for. Okay, it's actually quite long, but I'm just showing it so you can have a look, and you can stick with me on this. So the first thing they're looking for is that they're looking for 6 different things. Okay, you have to be able to analyze a problem. Then you have to be able to either plan, organize, or communicate. Then you have to be able to make things happen. Then you have to be able to stick with a task, work in a team, come up with ideas. So these are the 6 things they're looking for. Okay, so let me explain one more process for you to understand. So how normally it works is that you have a hiring manager. And the hiring manager, is the person who decide whether he should hire this person into his team or not. So this is a risk department, right? And there's also the HR manager. And hiring manager is too busy to do this initial screening. So then he asked the HR manager to look through all the applications. So let's say 200 people applied. So the HR manager job is to look at 200 resumes and quickly screen down to maybe 5 or 10 resumes. And then from there, she will pass it back to the hiring manager. Okay? And so the HR manager does not necessarily understand fully what the role is, because she is not in the same team as the hiring manager. So what does she do? She look for keywords. So the job description is typically written by the hiring manager. So he knows what he needs, right? Like for example, say, I know what I want to order today. I want to order, noodles. I want to order some pizza. I want to order some burger. And I give this list to the HR manager. And the HR manager would go to the supermarket, go to the files, go look at like all the restaurants, and then see, based on these keywords, she will match it. Okay, so that's why you need to make the job of the hiring manager very simple. Very, very simple. So the first thing that I would do is that, remember, right, you go back to the job description. Okay, you copy and paste what they're looking for. You copy and paste to the top of your resume. We're just going to do an exercise here. Okay. All right. You copy and paste it here. Now, after you copy and paste it, then you want to go through one by one and answer yes or no. Yes means, do I have this skill? Yes, I have this skill. Do I know how to analyze a problem? And if you answer yes, that you need to give numbers and example to back it up. Okay, so you go through each one of this and you put down a yes or a no. Here, what you want to do is you want to think really deeply. You might not think you have it, but you actually might have an example. Okay, so think deeply about it. If you truly don't have it, then put a no. Okay, so this is for yourself. After you've done that, you will come to a list like this. Let me show you. Okay, so this is, I done exercise already to save some time. But, so after this, you say yes or no, right? Yes. So it will look like this. All right, so these are the six things they're looking for, and I would say, yes, I have this skill. analyzing problems and implementing solutions. I noticed that in my gym members, right? So I would give them some examples. So this is really important. Why is this important? Let me go back to this and you will have a really clear idea. So this is the before version. This is what my friend would send in, right? Again, the before version is really long. I'm going through this. Remember, think like you're you're the HR manager. I'm the HR manager. I have 6 keywords I'm looking for. And now I have to go through this entire really long resume to look for these 6 keywords. How long do you think that's going to take me? Right? And that's going to take me a long time. And at the same time, if somebody else's resume is written in a way that helps me find the keyword faster, then I would pick that person first. And then maybe you have it too, but I'm not going to look at your resume because it takes me too long. Right? Here you're talking about like working on account receivable. Well, I don't know what you've done in account receivable. Like I have 6 keywords and I need to know that you can answer at least some of these keywords, right? So this is a suggestion. I would write a cover letter first. Why do you have a cover letter? In my cover letter, I normally highlight 3 skill sets out of the 6 that I think are the most important, that I have, that are the most important. Okay? So I would highlight it very quickly. And very important, I would write it in a bulletin format. Like this, bulletin, and then I would highlight the first part to make it popped out. So remember, there are 6 things that the HR manager is looking for. And if I have a cover letter like this, okay, then immediately I see that this person have 3 of the 6 things I'm looking for. Like in 5 seconds looking at this, I understood that. This person said, this person has thorough analysis, that this person has original thinking, and this person has a focused dedication, right? Remember what the 6 things that we're asking for? These are the 3 things out of the 6 things. So what a cover letter does is that it helps the HR manager in 5 seconds determine if she should read the rest of your resume. Okay? So this is a very effective and respectful way. You're making her job so easy, right? So imagine like this, right? So she goes to the supermarket, right? And she needs to buy a hamburger, she needs to buy a pizza, and she needs to buy a hot dog, right? Now instead of having to look through the entire supermarket, each aisle to see what the item is, if somebody knows what she needs and they put it right at the front entrance of the supermarket, the first thing she walks into the supermarket, she already sees the 3 things she needs, right? Then she just be very happy. Okay, so I want to really highlight this. So that's why you write a cover letter. A cover letter does not follow any chronological order. A resume does. And when you follow chronological order, it's harder for you to highlight what people your skills. But if you can put it in a cover letter like this, you're highlighting, okay, I have these 3 things, you need these 6 things, very fast, immediately already, right? They can see that this is what you need. Okay, so I'm going back to this. So this is a cover letter. Okay, and one more thing about writing the cover letter, since we're on it, let me just explain really quickly. You know how to already do these 3 things, right? Writing about what they need. So that's just based on your example. But one of the most important thing in a cover letter is that I would explain to them why I am applying to this position at UBS. Okay, and why apply to this position at UBS? The way to do it is very simple. You go to google.com/news. Okay. So this is the Google page, but it's only looking at news article. So you want to type in whatever company you're looking for. You want to put it in parentheses, especially if they're 2 words. Okay, then you hit on search. Now, this, what it does is that it pulls up all the latest news relating to this company. Only news. And I want to read some good news. It could be bad news, but I prefer to read some good news so that I could explain to them I understand the company and this is why I'm a big fan of the company. Okay, so 11 hours ago, UBS want to help AI, want to use artificial intelligence to help clients invest their money. This is fantastic, right? So you read to this article and then you can come back and you can say something like, well, for me at least, this is what I put. I'm applying for this position because I'm a huge fan of UBS investment strategies, which are backed by vigorous quantitative analysis and are highly responsive to handle risk. Okay, so this is an alignment of what this article says. This article says that, UBS is investing in a lot of artificial intelligence and quantitative analysis so that they can better manage the client's money, right? So that's why I find UBS to be so fascinating. And when you say something that you respect the company, it helps the reader to feel closer to you. Okay, so that's essentially, let me deconstruct the cover letter again. Cover letter is very simple. The first sentence is just say, I'm applying to which position, to confirm this is a position because there are many opening positions. So you need to say which one you're applying to. And the second sentence is just saying that, I'm a fan of your company because. And how you find out that because you just go to Google News and find the latest news which talk about them positively, then you phrase, you give them a compliment. Like for example, if I'm applying to Uber, I would say, I love how you're transforming the transportation company and you're solving for like massive traffic jams issues, right? There are so many things that you can phrase, that you can compliment them. And then you highlight 3 things that they need that you have. Okay, and again here you want to explain like give them as much examples and as much numbers as possible, and then make sure to put in a bulletin format like this. Was very easy to read. Okay, so that's essentially the cover letter. So now we're going to move into, once you do the cover letter, we're going to move into the resume. Okay, and the resume is really simple. Again, you're going to go back to this exercise here. You have 6 things that they're looking for. So I want you to take the next like hour to go through each one of this and put down a yes or no if you can fulfill this task or not. And if you can, give as much as example as you can. Okay, so let's go through this. All right. So after 30 minutes or an hour, you've already gone through the list of what they're looking for, and then you type in like yes or no, and then you give an example. Okay, after you do that, then you go back to your resume here. Okay, your resume here. Now I'm going to do the editing for you. Okay, so this resume is okay, but look at this. So what this person says is that this person's working at the gym. Right now is working at a gym. Well, you're thinking, well, I'm applying to UBS Bank, one of the most prestigious and traditional bank there is, which, normally require really a specific set of skills, right? If I work at a bank and this person says like, I collaborate in a team with other gym staff to ensure a safe, clean, and conducive environment in the gym. Well, how is that relating to what UBS is asking for? It doesn't. If you write like this, it doesn't, right? So first of all, you said you collaborate, you work it together in a team with other gym members. Well, that doesn't mean anything. That's too generic, right? I can say I work together in a team, but what is the result? What is the impact? And and how is it answering one of the 6 skills they're asking for, right? So I go back and I rewrote this into something like this. Remember, one of the skills they're looking for is to be able to analyze problems. Analyze problem, right? So I would delete all of this. Actually, I would delete the first one. The first one is talking about like keeping the gym clean, right? I have a better example like this. My manager gave me a task to keep the gym clean. I analyzed the problem and changed the laundry schedule to make sure all the towels were available during peak hours, right? During peak hours. The result, within 2 weeks, 100% of the gym members were using towels and the gym is cleaner than before. Okay, so again, you just gone from a situation where you said, before you were just saying, well, I keep the gym clean. Well, that's a good thing that you keep the gym clean, but how does it relate to specifically what UBS is looking for? And here, UBS is looking for somebody who can, follow a task, who can analyze a problem, who can make things happen, right? So you need to explain to them how keeping the gym clean, what you specifically did, and what was the result. Remember, always the last sentence is the result sentence. So I would say, exactly what I said there. And then the rest, I would actually just delete the rest. You don't, for each job, you don't need to put so long. Just put one or two things only, but with clear explanation how it fits back to what the employer is looking for. Okay, so now the next one, this person used to work for an accounting company as a full-time summer intern. Okay, and look, this person said that produce year-end income statement, balance sheet, and statement of cash flow. Right. So again, this person explained what they did. But look, I'm an HR manager at UBS. I don't really care that you done, produce year-end income statement. I want to know what you learned. I want to know how does this relate to me at UBS. Okay. So how you do that is here. I would put this. Remember, I'm going to delete this and then I'm going to put this. Remember, one of the skills that the company is looking for is to be able to stick with a task. Stick with a task. So then I would use exactly their words. I would say, I was given the task to compile year-end income statement, right? And then I explained to them the result. Due to the ability to stay focused under pressure, I finished the complex task on time, and the result is all the clients were able to meet deadlines for GST return. Right? So when the person's reading this, the person can see that your skill set is transferable. That look, you were given a task, you finish it on time, and all of your clients were happy. Okay, so this is really important. You need to go back and use exactly the words that they asked for. Okay, and so the rest I'm just gonna delete, right? Because unless it's an exact job that you're applying for, like another accounting company, and yes, you should keep this because it's an exact job you've done before. But if it's like a new job, it doesn't have much, relationship between the one and the other, then you need to explain to them why your skill is transferable, why your skill set is transferable. Now, like for here, this person said, Dragonfly fundraising project. Okay, co-founded fundraising project selling homegrown vegetables and bamboos dragonfly from Vietnam, and how much they raise money. That's good, but I still don't understand how this fits into 6 of the skills that UBS is asking for. So you need to rewrite it, and the way to rewrite it is really simple, right? You need to show them that you came up with one of the skill set they're asking for. If you are able to come up with your own ideas, right? So I would delete all this. I would say something like, look, I came up with the idea for our school's fundraising. So it was you who came up with the idea. Use the words that they that they specifically say? Because remember, the the HR manager is looking for keywords, right? So if they're looking for somebody who can come up with ideas, and you said, I came up with the idea for our school's fundraising, and then you tell them about the work and then the result. Okay, so very simple. Oh, here, yeah, before I forget, the final step after you do all this editing is to put it in a very nice and beautiful template. If you speak Vietnamese, then you can use this website here. It's called topcv.vn, and it would make into a really nice resume like this, and then you just copy and paste. This is gonna take you like 15 minutes, and it's really nice. Okay, if you speak English, which I'm assuming you do because you're listening to this, then you can use canva.com, canva.com. I use this as well, and it's really beautiful. Lots and lots of resume template, for free, right? So you want to, as the last step, do that. And then also you want to use powerful verbs. This is really important. What powerful verbs mean is that you don't want to say things like, I participate, I work closely. Those verbs are very passive. They don't suggest that you take in charge. So you want to use powerful verbs that show the hard work you've done. Verbs like I have, managed, I was responsible for, I led projects, right? So these are 185 powerful verbs that you can take a look. Okay, and then also you can use this list of adjectives. So instead of saying very pretty, you can say beautiful, right? So this is a very easy list of giving you words that are very concise. So that's it, guys. I'm very glad that you stick until the end. But remember, we'll go back to the before and after version. Okay, this is the before version. It's one size fit all. It's written for everyone. You read it, you're gonna be very confused. It's way too long. And after version, first you will start with a cover letter, and a cover letter is written in a bulletin format that highlights the 3 skills. 3 is good enough. 3 will get you to the door. 3 skills, if you do them really well, then it's good enough for them to invite you in for a job interview. Okay, so I would list the 3 skills with numbers. Then this is the edited version where there's a picture of me. Oh, and I forgot to talk about the objective. You also want to have like 1 or 2 short sentences describing your objective. And you can see what I write here, but essentially what you want to say is that, how passionate you are, what you're looking for. It will make you look more human. It makes you look more ambitious and driven. Okay? And then just remember that, please don't write things that are really generic. People have no idea. So the art of writing a really simple but effective resume is if you can just think about them as stories, right? So instead of saying, I keep the gym clean. Well, now you're applying for a bank. It isn't transferred. But if you put it in a story where you use specific skills that keep the gym clean, that means that same skills can be applied at this bank, then they will be much more likely to hire you, right? And the reason why you were able to keep the gym clean was because you use data. You were a problem solver. And since you're an analyst and a problem solver, those are the same skills that you can use at the bank as well, right? So please remember to go back at that level and think about the skill set, not so much about the activity level. Okay, so that's all, guys. All this is online. Take a look, and if you have questions, just email me. If I have time, I'd be happy to answer them. All the very best. I'm sure you can be very successful.